Yo, how's it going, everybody? It's MacklinGaming. It is mid-March, and I have already played 3 banger RPGs from this year, 2025. It has been an awesome year if you're a fan of RPGs. So the game I want to talk about today is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, I played the first Kingdom Come Deliverance. I didn't beat it, but I played it on my PS4, and it was an interesting experience. You know, these games are like medieval time simulators. There's not any fantasy elements in this game. Everything is as realistic as it can possibly be in this game as far as the developers, you know, and their intention for making this open world game. So like when you get out into the nature, it's beautiful forests and rivers and grasslands. But is there anything really compelling to do out there in the open world? Let's talk about that and all the other elements of this game in my review for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So in this game, you play as Henry from Skalitz, who is just an ordinary dude. And in the first game, he can't even read or write. You have to learn to do those things as like a skill in the game. And you end up becoming a pretty competent knight. So you're tasked with being the right-hand man to nobleman Hans Capon, who's kind of an annoying jerk. You know, he's born with a silver spoon in his mouth, the typical nobleman character. So he's kind of funny in that way. Like he's always just whining and complaining, and Henry, your character, has to protect him. And in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, right off the bat, you know, bad things happen, and all of a sudden Hans has been captured, he's taken away, and Henry has to set out to rescue him. So that is what the main story of this game is. You rescuing your friend and nobleman Hans Capon. And so you go through all these crazy quests. You know, the storyline and the quest lines are really good in this game. I think the cinematics are good as well. And like the side quests, you know, are on level with the main quest. It's one of those games where the side quests aren't just like, go gather like 10 of these things and bring them back to me. No, it's like really good story writing, almost on the level of like Witcher 3 or Skyrim or Oblivion, where the side quests are just as fun and high quality as the main quest. So as you go around this open world, you visit different villages and cities and talk to a bunch of NPCs on how to track down Capon, your boy. But at first the game is really challenging because you're very weak and low level, and in this game, like, one bandit can just kick your ass if you don't have good armor or a good sword or a weapon. So like for me, I was lucky. I came across some people that were like killed by guards and they had good armor and weapons. So I was able to loot their stuff and get stronger that way. But early game, you're going to die a lot if you're not well equipped. So you got to get out there, maybe get lucky, kill a bandit or two. You can sneak up on them if you want, or just try and take them out with whatever weapon you have, like your starter sword, until you start getting better gear. And once you can do that, you can start taking on a few more enemies at a time. And, you know, at first you're weak and you feel that in this game, but as the hours go by, you start getting stronger, complete some quests, and then you've got some better weapons and armor, and you can hold your own. And that's when the game really starts to get fun. But the whole time that you're going through the game, every mechanic is very slow and meticulous. I compare it to Red Dead Redemption 2. It's got that slow survival element to it. You know, every move you make is deliberate, and it takes time to do things. You know, you have to eat to stay healthy and strong. You have to sleep to keep your energy up. Even in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, there's like a smelling mechanic. You can start stinking too badly if you don't wash yourself. You can't sneak up on enemies as well after that. So it's really interesting. But you have to maintain those survival elements while also trying to complete your quests. So let's talk about the combat in this game. Like I said, at first it's really difficult to figure out, but the developers of this game came up with this like star-shaped directional attack pattern where you lock into an enemy and you're in first-person camera mode, and there's 4 ways to attack. You can attack up, left, right, or down, and the down is really kind of like a pierce. With that in mind, your enemy can also attack you from those ways. So like if they're attacking from the right, you want to block to the right to block their attack. If you are off and you're not matching their direction when you block, it's not going to work. And there's also a counterattack, which they call a riposte, where if you block in the direction that they're attacking you from and then you press attack right after that, you can get a good counterattack in. And there's one more technique that you learn in the game, and I can tell you where to find it. It's this man named Tomcat in the Nomads camp. They tell you this becomes a quest in your journal that says, go learn the Master Strike from Tomcat in the Nomads camp. And the Master Strike will make you so much stronger in this game, exponentially stronger with a sword. You can only use this with swords. If you learn this technique, you end up being able to, instead of blocking an enemy attack, you press the attack button, and you have to be on the opposite direction of where they're attacking instead of the same direction. So if they're attacking on your left, you have to be with your weapon on your right, and then you press attack instead of block. And if you get this, you can start taking enemies out really easily, like by the bunches, like 3, 4, 5 bandits. You know, you can take them on, just you and your dog, if you end up finding your dog through the side quest. So the Master Strike is key to this game, for me at least. When I got it, it became a lot more fun. You know, a bunch of bandits are trying to shit talk me and like think they can take me, and then I just wipe them all out with this Master Strike technique, which it just deals way higher level damage on the counterattack than the normal riposte. So the combat for me, it's a little more strategic than it is like action based because of this directional mechanic that it has, you know? So I enjoy it, but it's a little janky. It feels a little janky. Doesn't feel as smooth as like Avowed, which I just played, first person combat. But it's still very fun to go out there and try and take on a lot of bandits with the Master Strike. So we've talked about the story and the combat. Let's talk about some of the little side things you can do in this game in the open world, and if it's enough for me to enjoy the game as a whole, just going out into the open world and doing things out there. So alchemy is a big part of this game. In order for you to even save your game manually, you have to brew a potion, a concoction. It's called Savior Schnapps. And the alchemy, just like everything else in this game, is very meticulous and slow. You have to actually boil the water or the oil. You have to grab the herbs that you picked out in the forest, and you gotta make sure you put the right handfuls of herbs into the potion. You have to brew it for the right amount of time and boil it for the right amount of time, not too long, you know? So those kind of things are actually really interesting for me. I enjoy the alchemy. I've enjoyed doing alchemy since like Oblivion, right? So that's a fun part of the game for me. Even though it can be slow, it can be rewarding when you get these potions that can either help you save your game whenever you want, or, you know, if you're tired and you need to sleep, there's a potion that is like a sleeping potion, a chamomile decoction. It replenishes your energy faster when you sleep. So there's a lot of interesting uses for potions and alchemy in this game. But other than that, like when you're out in the open world and there's plants to pick, what else can you do? You can't go fishing, which is a bummer for me. You can go out into the world and find some bandits on the road who ransacked someone's cart, and then you can attack and kill the bandits. Or if you walk through the woods, there'll be a pack of wolves you can kill. But since this game has no fantasy elements, it's either you kill bandits, you kill wolves, or you pick plants, or you hunt some boar. So after playing this game for so many hours, instead of enjoying the open world more with the forests and the beautiful graphics, I actually started to enjoy it less because it felt a little boring. There wasn't much to do in the open world. I was just following my quest lines. I wasn't really stopping to do much in the open world unless I saw some bandits. Then I'd just kill them and go on my way. But there wasn't too much to do on the exploration side of this game other than just nature watch, which is really, it's nice sometimes, but after playing 70 hours in, you know, it's like a little bit tedious. So that's where the game for me lacks a little bit. Like there's not that many interesting things to do in the open world. But with all that being said, do I enjoy this game? Am I going to keep playing the game and finish it? Yes, absolutely. It might not be my favorite game of the year or a memorable game that I come back to every year and play, but it runs really nicely, I'll say. The performance and the development is very clean on this game. It runs 60 frames per second most of the time on my PS5, base PS5, so It's a very clean game. The graphics are very good. You know, it's a great story. Combat is unique, at least to say, you know, it's interesting. I wouldn't say it's the best combat, but it's something. And the open world, while it looks nice, it's a little empty feeling. So for me, I got to give this game, it's like between an 8 and a 9 out of 10. You know, so I'll say an 8 out of 10 for me overall. What do you guys think about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Are you enjoying it, or is it too slow for you and a little boring and tedious? Do you think the open world is enjoyable, or is it just kind of empty? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like on the video, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.